So I'm going to choose words that fit the phonics pattern that I'm working on right now and phonics patterns that I've worked on before so that I can review. So first I'm going to say the word and then students are going to repeat it. So if the word is stain, I say stain and students then will repeat stain. Next we connect to meaning, and I usually like to call in a student because they get really excited about making their own sentence. So they're using the word in a sentence, and I also give students the opportunity if they want to give the definition, just say what they think it means. So that part has been a really great addition to make sure that I do that. And also it's good to hear their oral language skills and to like gently, I don't want to say correct, but I guess, yeah, correct if there are corrections to be made, or help them say what they're trying to say in a more concise way. So that's been, like I said, great little addition. Then stretch it. Now, most of the time I end up using imaginary slinkies, but I do have, like dollar store slinkies because they get so excited about the option of stretching out a word with a slinky. And then we do the tapping part. So if it's stain, and next they're gonna connect. So and at this point we're going to talk about what we've learned with our long vowel team. So I might say, what are different ways that we can spell the sound A? And they might say, AI, AY. I usually have some visuals to go with it if that's what I'm teaching. And I say which one goes in the middle of a word, so AI. And then the last sound is Then I'm going to have them rewrite it without the sound boxes. Next, for check, I've been teaching them to do this, which has been really helpful. Say what you're reading. Sorry, I didn't do that very well because I'm holding a phone, but I meant to just underline AI. So what they're doing is they're underlining like basically the sounds or the letters that represent each sound as a way to check it. So then they can color that in or circle it or whatever. Then I can give a sentence. Now I don't always give a sentence for every single word, but maybe at the end I'll give 1 or 2 sentences, but I added a space down there. My original one didn't have this, but it really annoyed me. So I remade it with having the lines down there to do a sentence. And your decodable sentence is going to be only with words that use phonics patterns and graphemes that you've taught. So to make sure that they can have success with it. So in my spelling posters, like shortly after I made these spelling posters, I ended up adding the second to the last one and the third one that incorporated suffixes, because I realized so quickly when I teach suffixes, SED, ING, I want to incorporate that into my spelling practice so they get used to a couple things. Number one, just hearing that there even is, identifying a suffix in a word, and being able to separate base word and suffix. So I added that in, and so I wanted to make an option on this spelling chart too. So let's think of an example. The word is rained. I'm going to say it, and then the connected meaning is even more important because I want to make sure that I use it in a sentence that isn't rain or raining, it's rained. I want to make sure that I am showing the past tense when I connect to meaning. Then we're going to, this is like a physical picture of separating base and affix, but we're really doing it orally. So I'm going to say the word is rained. What is the base word? So if it didn't happen already, what would the word be? Rain. So our base word is rain. Then we'll go to our normal, we're stretching the sounds, but we're just stretching the sounds of rain, of our base word. We're going to go a, n. So I'm just going to focus on the base word. Now that I've done my base word, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to rewrite my base word, rain. But then look, I'm going to add the affix back on. So in this case, it's a suffix. So we're going to talk about the original word was rained. It already happened. So what suffix do we add? We add ed. And I really reinforce with them, I'm not using sound boxes for my suffixes because suffixes and sounds don't always match up. And I want them to be in the habit of understanding that. So we write our base word, and I know that base words, the sounds don't always match up, but suffixes are their own, and prefixes, I feel like they're their own thing. So now we want to check. So I'm gonna go ahead and just circle the suffix, And then I'm gonna go back and do my base word. Rained. So I'm gonna talk about how, okay, there's no rules here. I don't need to drop anything. It's just fine to add ed, so we're good. And then there's the sentence option too. Okay, so let's talk about what if there is something you need to do before adding the suffix back on. So let's say we did the word hike. Oh, sorry, I moved my chips. Well, that's okay. So we have I, k. Okay, so we don't need those two. And the E, you can make it smaller or whatever you want to do. So now I'm gonna write my base word, hike. So now I need to add the affix on. And if I'm making it, we'll make it hiking. Let's do hiking. So then we're gonna remember that we don't just add ing. We don't just do that. We're going to drop the E, so in this case we can erase it, and add ing. And there's our word, hiking. And you can even talk about how there's one consonant between the vowel and the suffix, so that will remind you that that's going to be a long vowel. You can even label the vowel.